inequalities, and we learn about the open circle and the closed circle and all of that. Now we're going to solve one-step inequalities. No biggie, because you solve them the same way you do equations. Now, when you get in 7th grade, there's going to be something when you multiply or divide by a negative number. We're not going to worry about that this year. They'll get that next year and in 8th grade. Okay? So the difference between equations and inequalities, an equation has one solution. You're looking to make both the sides equivalent. The thing that's the same is they both contain variables, and they're both solved by using inverse operations. So the inverse of addition is what? Subtraction. The inverse of multiplication is what? Division. Okay? Now, the difference between inequalities, and somebody said it yesterday when I said, day before yesterday, when I said, why do we say solutions instead of solution? Singular, because an inequality has many solutions. So if I have an x is greater than 8, anything that's greater than 8 would be up to infinity would be a solution. Okay? So we're going to look at that today, and then we got 3 worksheets. I hope we get through all of them. If we don't, we'll pick them up tomorrow. So same steps as equalities. Isolate your variable, determine what's happening to the variable, and then perform inverse operations, and then we're going to graph it. So I'm going to show you these. I write, you write. Okay? Okay, so we have x plus 13 is greater than 62. So what's over here with the x? 13. And is it plus or minus? It's plus. So what do I do? What's the inverse? Minus. So I'm going to minus 13 here. Where did my colors go? I got to figure out how to get my colors back. So minus 13 here. I need the black back. And minus 13 here. All right. Draw my line. Inverse. Don't look. When you get the plus 13 minus 13, don't try to figure out what that is. It's 0. Draw a line through it. You don't even have to write the 0. Well, you don't write the 0. So what you have over here, left over here is x. And then not an equal, but a greater than. Okay? Now 62 minus 13 is what? Somebody's got a calculator. Is it 49? Okay. All right. And so we got a number line. Where am I going to put my 49? Wherever you want to. Open circle or closed circle. And if you don't remember, that's open. Closed. And that's closed. Is there an equal under that thing? Is there a line up under there? No. So it's open. And then we shade in the direction of our arrow. So our inequality is pointing this way. So now look, y'all, you don't have to shade out like this for me to see it. I can see that. All right. Now let's do this one. We have x minus 12 is less than or equal to 4. So what's going on over here by the x? And like this number by itself, leave it alone. Do not add, subtract, multiply. Don't do anything to it. Leave it there. Do not mess with the 4. It's already by itself. So what number am I going to deal with? 12. And is that 12 a minus or a plus? Plus. That's a minus. I didn't ask what to do. I said, is that a minus or a plus? That's a minus. So what do I have to do to undo a minus? What's the inverse of minus? Plus. Okay, so I'm going to plus 12 here. Now look, don't write this. Some of y'all do this. That's on the same side of the inequality sign or the equal sign. Don't do that. So you got to do 1 on one side. If you still have to draw your line, draw your line. Okay, and then we're going to plus 12 over here. What happens to this minus 12 plus 12? What do I do? Draw a line through it, right? Because it goes away. And then less than or equal to 4 plus 12. I hope that's 16. Okay, and then so we're going to put our 16 anywhere on this number line. And since we have the line, it's a closed circle. And I'm going to shade this way. Mm-hmm. So on the test, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this. Okay, what's going on here? What do I need to do to undo this? This 14, is that a plus or a minus? It's a plus, so I need to minus. If you see no sign in front of it, it is a minus, okay? Now on your calculator, you're going to say 9 minus 14. Nyla, get a calculator and write, leave your hair alone. 9 minus 14 is what?
This is not a hair salon.
What are y'all getting?
5.
No, you didn't get a 5. You got a -5, right? So we're going to put a -5 here, open or close circle. Open, because we don't have the equal. You only put the close when you have that little line up under there, okay, which means equal. And then I'm going to shade in that's an arrow. I'm going to shade in that direction. So we're going to look at our inequality sign like it's an arrow, like it's an arrowhead, like that. So we're going to go that way. Do you understand what I'm saying when I say arrow? Okay. All right, now let's do this one. I'm going to go ahead and draw the line. Okay, that's a -5. What's the inverse of -5? So I'm going to do it here and I'm good, or what? What? I need to do it on the other side, right? 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. Does it matter where I put my 5 on the number line? No. So I'm going to put my 5 right there and then shade. Do I need to put all the numbers on the number line? No. I'm looking at the direction that you shade. So now let's look at this. So if I gave you this inequality, x minus 5 is greater than or equal to 0, and you got a solution of x is greater than or equal to 5. If I gave you these numbers and ask you which ones are solutions, which ones would be solutions? 4 is greater than or equal to 5. So what are you looking for? You're looking for numbers that are what? Greater than or equal to 5. So if I gave you a 4, is that a solution? No. If I gave you a 6, is that a solution? If I gave you a 7, is that a solution? Okay. If I gave you a -5, is that a solution? No. All right, now these are with multiplication and division. When you get in 7th grade, when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you're going to flip your inequality sign. But in 6th grade, we're going to leave the inequality sign just like it is. We're not going to do any flipping because it's not in 6th grade standards. And the theory behind that, I think some of you could get it, but I'll let 7th grade deal with that. All right. I said that and I'm recording. I'm sorry, parents, but that's life. All right. So now I have, some of y'all get stuck right here. Somebody read that to me. It says 5m, but what is it actually? 5 what? 5 times m. Okay. So what were you saying, Peyton? You were giving me the opposite. What's the inverse of times? Division. So I need to divide by what? 5. Do I need to, why won't I divide? Why am I not dividing by 30? You said what now? Leave it alone because it's already alone on the other side, right? And it doesn't have a variable with it. But yeah, that's leave it alone. Okay, 5 over 5, you cancel that out. And so m is greater than what? 30 divided by 6. 30 divided by 5 is 6. I just gave you the answer. So that's an open circle because we don't have the line, and shade in the direction of my arrowhead. Okay, now I'm going to divide both of these by 7. And I get x less than or equal to. Okay, on your calculator, get your calculator because I want y'all to be used to these calculators. So go ahead and grab one. I want y'all used to these by ACAP because you're going to get attention. negative down here by the zero in the decimal, negative 42 divided by 7. It shouldn't be minus 71. Thank you, negative 6. Okay, so now since we have less than or equal to, is it a solid or an open circle? Yes, I mean closed or open, but y'all know what. Thank you. If you didn't get negative 6 and the person next to you got it, ask them how they got it. Because it'll be easier for you to show 13 people than for me to walk around the 13 desk. I mean, quicker. Show them what you did. So negative, you see the negative down here, 42 divided by 7. You could also hit your fraction button. Let's try it this way. Since we got 42 over negative 40, hit your fraction button. And then put in negative 42 in the numerator. Hit that arrow down there. And put your 7 in the denominator. You should, and hit enter. You should still get negative 6, right? So you can do it either way. Now, when I'm doing slope and stuff like that, I will use my N over D button because it's easier. Okay, now this is B divided by 2. What is the opposite of division? So if I'm dividing by 2 in my problem, what do I need to multiply by? 2. So I'm going to multiply 2 over here, and I'm going to multiply by 2 over here. I'm using the dot for multiplication because we use X as a variable. These cancel out. B is greater than 4 times 2, which is 8. So I got 8, open circle, shade. Okay, now remember this one? This is a fraction, so we multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1 over 3 is 3 over 1. I'm just going to write the 3. That cancels out. H is greater than or equal to a negative 18. If you multiply that in your calculator, and what you're also doing, you're learning how to multiply and divide integers. So you're learning the plus and negative rules without me explicitly teaching them. Okay? So we got a negative 18, closed circle, shade in that direction. And that's all it is, because you already know how to do these. Now, if you're at home, these worksheets that I'm about to pass out are on Schoology. You can print them out at home and bring them back when you come back, or you can do them on Schoology, on Cami, and submit. All right.